My friend Jose had a quote. He said, I thought it was real good. He said, why would a rat teach a lion that he or she is indeed a lion when programming them to work for rats would just make their lives easier? See, with everything that I'm doing, I want you to understand the tricks, understand the game, and that's why watching this to the end is going to be beneficial to you. This is Jaron with Power and Leadership Enterprise. I'm helping leaders make great plans, and so we're just going to get right into it. Social engineering. This means so much to me because as I look at my life, as I think about the choices that I have made, the decisions in my past, I know and I take full accountability that I did what I did. And they say you got to learn to live with regret, so I can't get mad. All I can do is just get better in the present, in the now. But I think about how my culture, I think about how society at large guided those decisions. And so, what is that? That's maybe an informal way of saying social engineering. And so, it's so important on this path to wealth, on the way to the enterprise, where I know my fam, my friends, and my supporters, and people that I support, we're all going to be there at the end. So, when I think about social engineering, first I just have to break it down at its root level. And so, school, it teaches us everything from an agricultural standpoint, an industrial standpoint. These subjects that we learn, math or arithmetic, your English language, these things helped us when we were more or less farmers, when school was first indoctrinated onto United States. But see, the thing is, we've moved on. We're more in a partnership age where we use technology. And so a lot of times in circles, we used to say it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. But when it comes to school and how these curriculums are guiding us, they really base it on what you know. And when you're groomed that way from 3 years old, pre-K, 5 years old, kindergarten, all the way up until you're 18 years old, these years when you're most impressionable, they can say it's who you know all they want, but lo and behold, it was about what you know. And see, social engineering will make it so cool to have these daycare centers, but be ran like prison centers. There's been photos online that show the comparisons of the buses that go to prisons, same buses that go to schools, same type of cafeterias, same type of structure where kids, in their innocence, have to be quiet, have to put their fingers over their mouth, have to close their eyes, get reprimanded for making noise when everything to life is new to them. They would love to explore. And based on their home life, you never know what may be motivating them or how they may want to motivate others. See, engineering can make you stay with the old, all the while in the background, new ideas are being pushed, new policies. And I was just looking at this online. It was from a person that is going more or less with the direction of being a sovereign citizen, letting it be known that these different policies, whether it be made at a municipal level, are really amendments to the Constitution. So it's letting me know that yes, there were original laws and perhaps your Bill of Rights, and things of that nature. But when all these little policies are getting pushed and initiatives are being pushed, that is amending the original plan. And sometimes we can get caught up in the social outrage, and I'm gonna get into this in later on in this video. But all the while, the old process of getting policies pushed that's not going to be necessarily in the black man's favor is still going on. But I want to also give some clear examples on how that looks. That could be higher prices for goods and capital needs. You know, I just find it so outstanding that the things that we bought, or the things that I remember like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the prices of certain things, just simple things. It could be candy, it could be chips, it could be gasoline, it could be clothing, etc., will be at one certain price, and then now the prices are out of this world. But at the same time, the pay is probably only double. And when I say out of this world, let's just get specific. It's probably grown 5 times, 6 times, and it puts people in a system, in a mindset that he or she feels that they are not enough. And so when we feel that way internally, our brain really can't decipher and tries to look for solutions externally. And that's where people are turning to liquor, weed, fast food, looking to entertainment, such as a Netflix. And now, the new phenomenon, looking into social media. Hence validation, but it's all under the umbrella of looking outside of oneself. All the while, the powers that be understand that people are just trying to survive. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's easy to make people that are really strong, really valuable, not even know about themselves, and have to worship that few really rats and not teach them their true value of themselves. But think about the power. Think about the structure of a lion and how much energy that they're going to be putting out, how much work that they're going to be putting out compared to a rat's mindset. Because a rat's mindset, not to be confused with snitching and any street rules like that, I'm really just comparing animals, but a rat's mindset is going to be that creature's perspective on the world. Whereas a lion is going to have a totally different perspective. And as I mentioned, it's going to be powerful just based on human nature. Just based on nature. Let's go deeper. Social engineering is the twist that media, that could be private and public companies advertising. That could be your entertainment, your music. That could be sports figures. And see, what happens is we idolize these figures. We idolize the movies that we see and the characters that are being portrayed, forgetting that they are actors. It's all to push a narrative, to keep people in a consumer mindset. And it's so crazy that it's out in the open that we are consumers. If you're living in the United States of America, it is understood around the world that this is a consumer economy. We are not producers or mass producers, major producers of the world. We used to be, but that has all changed. And that validates the point I've said in the beginning, where we came from an agricultural and industrial age where we were producing things, and now we're more in a partnership age by way of technology. The reason why this is important is so that to keep someone in that consumer mindset, you don't want the consumer to come up with ideas or initiatives to directly affect his or her life. So, what this looks like in all actuality is that social engineering is business. People are minding their business, but when it's shaped by media, then it's shaped to be a consumer. And so there are others. So you have consumers. This is why I want you to watch all the way to the end. You have consumers, but then you have producers. And they understand that how can I use this idol to my benefit? How can I use this circumstance to my benefit and more or less make people or followers act in a certain type of way? And if I can predict that behavior, I could probably predict what type of where that money is going to go. Because I'm here to tell you, money makes the world go round. So think about news that's going on right now. We're looking at banks collapsing, but we're still able to help foreign countries. So we're not able to help ourselves. And we've all filled out job applications, so we already know that there's someone in place right now that's supposed to foresee certain things, that's supposed to prevent certain things, especially billion-dollar banks collapsing. Come on. And what's worse is that all in all, we're all talking about systems, individualized systems in different cities, in different localities. And we have a system that indirectly, but I feel it's directly when it's talking about engineering. Okay, engineering is something that comes from imagination. So that means to put that imagination into real life, there is an intentional aspect that I'm hearing fraternities, black fraternities, and sororities possibly getting kicked off of Florida campuses because they're promoting diversity and inclusion. Think about that. In 2023, fraternities and sororities has been around for hundreds of years, or should I say decades, but at least 100 years, are basically like losing accreditation. And I know accreditation goes with the school, but we're just talking about individually the fraternities and sororities basically having to, if they're smart about it, having to change up their mission statement, changing the language and the way that they speak to one another so that it doesn't offend another person, when in truth these sectors, these groups just wanted to find a fitting in life and just wanted to get ahead. I'm not going to get into some of the things that they may do, or in some instances the reason why they were made were really from them agreeing with like Freemasonry and agreeing and shaking hands with secret societies. I'm not going to get into that because some people, yes, they want to get ahead and will do whatever it takes to get ahead, but then there are some people who legitimately are just, they're oblivious to these type of things. But all in all, it sparks outrage. Once again, policies are being pushed to put us in a situation where lions are being controlled by rats, and it takes for the lions, in truth, in this country to actually disintegrate, meaning that we can do business, we can still interact with one another, but we don't have to necessarily depend, and really it'll be more of a system where it's synergy, where we're interdependent of one another. Hence why I always push power and leadership enterprise so that it's not just one enterprise, but multiple enterprises where we are in trade, we are in commerce together. That's all I have today. I'm glad that you liked it. Please like, please comment below so we can keep this discussion going and share this to your family and friends. And now be on the lookout. We have a new series coming up, Overcoming Obstacles. I want us to get out of our head, overcome obstacles. I thank you, man. Be easy. Peace.